Danielle.
Okay. Danielle?
Yes.
Yep.
Can you just give me any sort of vibe?
I mean, he's just so cool. He's super chill, and his voice is, you just like, I don't know, I can't describe it, but his voice like draws you in.
I'm drawn in by his eyes.
Take a deep breath, Ryan.
All right.
It's your adrenaline is rushing.
Where should we start? Because he's never been on. This is the first time. Maybe we should start with that. This is the first time in almost 10 years he's never been on. We'll start there, and we've got to cover 30 Seconds to Mars and the show at the Bowl.
And the movie
also,
and all this stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I got this. Jared.
Ryan.
How are you, my man?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, bro. Thanks for coming on. We were talking earlier about, I think this is the first time you've been on the show. Is that right?
It very well may be, and it's an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, it is our pleasure.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for 10 years, and we're super psyched to have you on.
Thanks, Ben.
So we had a chance to see you guys play at the iHeartRadio Music Festival, and it was fantastic. Did you have a good time?
I did. It was a blast for us. I think it was the first time a lot of people had seen us in that world. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because not only were you playing there in Vegas, it was broadcast nationally at the same time, live. And you guys, you opened with a Rihanna song. You opened with "Stay." Why'd you choose that one?
You know, we had played it a few weeks earlier for Radio 1, our friends over there in London.
England, yeah.
And we just thought it would be fun to come out and do something really different and really simple. You know, we were playing alongside Paul McCartney and Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake, and, you know, you can't really compete with any of them. So we thought, let's go out and play something that's really, really simple. It's my brother on drums, Tomo on piano, and me singing. And it worked.
Yeah, I have to tell you, in the radio room where we were doing all the interviews, it's the only time the whole room was silent watching.
Well, Alan, it's the dreamy eyes. It's the dreamy eyes that Jared Leto's got.
I had a rather hairy coat as well, so maybe that was it.
I'm definitely going with the eyes.
Oh, thank you.
So I was looking at some stuff about you guys online, and I can't believe this story, but you tell me this is true or not, that a fan one time cut off their ear and sent it to you and then wore it as a necklace?
Well, Brian, I've been sent some very strange things, and I actually don't think that's the strangest.
Really?
The newest trend is for people just to kind of show up and camp out in front of my house, which is interesting. So I think there's a move in my near future.
Oh, wow.
Really? They'll just stay outside of your place?
Yeah, you know, sometimes peek in the windows. I need one of those long private driveways, I think, now.
Yeah, you need a wall,
Yeah.
dude. I was watching that movie, This Is the End, Seth Rogen, and it takes place at James Franco's house, and he doesn't have a wall around his house. I was shocked.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you got to
I
see
did
it.
interview him a few days ago for a little film project that I'm making that's been inspired by a brand new single called City of Angels. And he was a really interesting guy to interview.
Yeah, well, you need a wall and a moat.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be a little creepy to, you know, you're walking to the kitchen or whatever, and you're worried that people are looking into your windows.
Yes.
Well, that's what happens, Jared, when you master the world of music and movies.
Exactly.
I mean, look, there's no turning back. You didn't stick to one silo. You're cross-pollinating all over the place. So. We've got a pair of tickets to go see you guys, 30 Seconds to Mars, at the Hollywood Bowl this Saturday. I'm going to give them to caller 102. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. But what can you tell us about the show this weekend?
Oh, this is going to be one of the most special and unforgettable shows that we've ever played. It's the biggest show we've ever played in Los Angeles. It's the Hollywood Bowl. I know that there are people flying in from all over the world to see this show. It's going to be broadcast live on a brand new platform called Vyrt, VYRT.com, which is a place to watch live events online. And it's a really exciting show for us. We're going to play a song called City of Angels that was written about Los Angeles. We're going to play that for the very first time in L.A. So lots to celebrate.
Right on. All right, caller 102, let me get you those tickets. And Jared, hang on for 1 second if you don't mind. I want to ask you about Dallas Buyers Club. And I know that you took a break for a handful of years and came back to do that movie. So we'll do that next, right here. So we got Jared Leto, who's holding on here. Caller 102 just scoring those tickets to go see 30 Seconds to Mars at the Hollywood Bowl this Saturday. Do you pick out what you're going to wear ahead of time, or is it a day of?
Usually about 3 to 4 minutes before I walk on stage.
Just whatever you're feeling, you just go to a rack and grab it?
If I have a rack, it's usually crumpled at the bottom of a suitcase.
So now Jared is starring alongside Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club, and this is where you play Rayon, an HIV-positive transsexual. Now, you took a break for almost, was it 5 years before going back to film a movie? Is that right?
Almost 6 years, yeah.
6 years, okay. And what drew you in about this movie? Why'd you go back to it?
Well, I was really busy touring. We had more success than we ever dreamed that we would have with 30 Seconds to Mars, and which is a great problem. And I hadn't read a script in a couple of years, but I got a couple of calls about this script and was encouraged to read it. I read it and I fell in love. It was, a really challenging role, a beautifully written script, and I thought that this would be a really, really interesting journey to go on, and it was.
And you lost so much weight, and when we took a photo at iHeart together, I noticed you're still super thin. Are you having a hard time, getting it back on, or is this your normal weight you're at now?
Well, it's never an easy thing to lose that much weight. I had done it before for a film called Requiem for a Dream.
Heard of it?
Yeah, and I'd gained a bunch of weight for another film as well. I gained 60 pounds once. So I had some experience, but it never gets easier. And it's an interesting thing to talk about, but really it's only one thing, The weight is great because it helps change the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you think, the way people treat you. And I was playing someone who was dying of AIDS and was also a drug addict, so it was kind of a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do it?
I stopped eating.
Is that right?
Literally.
Yeah, I read that. You said you just fasted.
Yeah, I had a very short period of time in which to do it, and, at the end of the day, it's math. You gotta burn more calories than you take in, and, I stopped eating for a significant period of time, and then I would probably eat about 300 to 400 calories a day for quite some time.
And I have to know also, the story I told you about the pot-bellied pig, my friend Rachel was hiking in Malibu, and she said you ran up a hill and you were frantically looking for your lost pot-bellied pig. Is that true?
1,000%.
It really is. So do you still have that pig?
Well, it's a kind of a sad story, but probably one for another time. But it's a very long and strange story. It has to do with a mountain lion, a hillbilly, and a little bit of moonshine. But it was pretty crazy and sad. But
That's terrible.
I'm
I
sorry.
always loved that little son of a gun.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
yeah, she's
We understand. Moonshine. That's there's a curveball.
I know, and it's such a cliche. The pig's name, Wilbur.
Oh, Jared, I can't have this negative energy.
Heartbreaking, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't have it.
Okay, well, let's change the energy.
Okay, let's just remind people that you can see Jared and the band live this weekend, and Dallas Buyers Club is in theaters on the 1st of November. Jared, thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you guys for having me. I hope to see you soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
You're on air with